one big pile of leftover fabrics, and I really keep the smallest pieces. I showed you in one of my last videos how to easily sew these tiny squares. I will link the video below. So this here is just a very quick run through. You fuse the tiny squares to fusible interfacing. You stitch row after row with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, open the seam allowance, and then repeat for the other direction. Super easy and perfectly matching points. So what do we make out of these squares? The prettiest coasters for your spring table. Let me show you how. We're gonna create the lemon today. You need a few small pieces of green fabric for the leaf and the stem, and also a tiny piece of fusible interfacing. I'm using a medium weight Flieseline H630 for the stem and the leaf. Fuse the fabric to the interfacing and trace your shapes. I'm using a washable fabric marker and cut them out. Then you place them right sides together with the backing fabric and stitch around the outer edge with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Leave a little opening for turning later. Now cut off the excess fabric of the backing and turn inside out. Use a pair of scissors to carefully push out the shape of the leaf. Then close the opening of the leaf with a few stitches. Then you repeat the same for the little stem. There is no need to close the opening of the stem. Also push out the edges of the little stem either with a pencil, I'm using a pencil here, or a pair of scissors. Then trace the shape of the lemon and cut it out as well. Then place it onto the backing fabric and stitch around the outer edge, except the top, leave an opening for turning later. Cut off excess fabric if necessary, and make sure you cut concave corners. This ensures there is no puckering of the seam once you turn your lemon. Turn your lemon inside out and fold in the seam allowance at the top. Then place leaf and stem in the opening and stitch in place either by hand or machine. I love closing it by hand because I just like the look way better. Use a very small invisible stitch. This gives you a very pretty finish. And here we go. Now we're all done. What do you say? Cheers!